name is Jenny, and I'm a wife and mom raising 2 kids. But I used to live a more glamorous life as a TV reporter. I was on the nightly news interviewing pop stars and politicians. So when I said goodbye to TV and hello to motherhood, I suddenly discovered what we moms are up against. We live in a world that tells us to be rich and famous, thin and successful. You know, almost nobody says, "Oh, hey, you're a mom? That is fabulous." But you are fabulous, and I'm here to tell you why.
It's the Channel Mom Show, celebrating you with Jenny Dean Schmidt.
Brought to you by the Healthy Marriage Project. Just click on one of their ads to find out about a healthy relationship workshop near you. If you are a Pinterest fan, I've got a great guest for you today. She is a wife, a proud mama, and in love with her vocation of working with kids and families at Radiant Church. On the side, she says she's oddly obsessed with party planning, the idea of crafting, and pushing herself to pursue her dream of writing. And she is already writing. I mean, I read some of her stuff that she's got going on her Cravings Online, where you can visit her, cravingsonline.net, I believe, but she can correct me on that. Welcome, Carrie Bailey, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Jenny.
Oh, we're glad to have you. Okay, can we just start off on this Pinterest thing?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, for a woman who has a website that she runs for other moms, I'm completely ignorant sometimes. And I was out at a birthday celebration for a friend, and somebody brought it up, and I felt completely out of touch because they were all talking about how they're all involved with Pinterest, and this is the most fabulous thing since sliced bread. And you are very involved in Pinterest, and I went to see that you do a number of posts. Because it's such a big deal right now, can you tell people what it's all about?
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's what's interesting. I stayed away from it forever because I thought, you know what, I'm already on Facebook, I'm already on Twitter, I blog, I don't need one more thing in my life.
Right.
So literally just told my friends I'm not doing this. But then I had a friend who said, Carrie, you've got to hop on here. All your parties are popping up everywhere. And I was like, what? So I get on, and sure enough, they're right. And I realized that, yes, it's this place to, like, exchange ideas, but it's this incredible organizational tool. So I was used to, like, bookmarking everything, you know, on my little computer and having all these folders and all this kind of stuff.
Right. I have the same thing.
Instead, you can use Pinterest to, like, visually categorize stuff that you come across. So you're perusing the web and you see a recipe and you're like, oh, I want to make that. You just hit this little pin it button, and it pins it straight to this board of recipes for you. So you can be in your kitchen, you pop up your little Pinterest page, and you go to your recipes, and there it all is. Or the same with parties or kids' crafts ideas. So for me, it was like this light bulb moment of going, it's going to organize me better. And for that, like, I can excuse the use of Pinterest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, one more tool to help me get organized is awesome. But then the benefit is, it's like this incredible online exchange of ideas between, like you said, mostly women, which, you know, it's like going to this great big recipe exchange party except online, where everyone's just giving ideas out and sharing everything they're learning. So I love it. And yes, I've become obsessed with it. So
yeah, and I had no idea it was an organizational tool, and I love organization and things that make me more organized. So I need to go check this out. So you can just grab anything from anywhere and throw it onto your Pinterest file or Pinterest page?
Yep, you upload this little, they call it a pin it button at the top of your computer browser.
Yeah.
And so every time you come across anything, you just hit your pin it button, and it pins it straight to whatever board. You create these boards. So like I have a party board, a recipe board, a gift-giving board, things I want to give, things I want to get. But I send my husband to that board. Like, anything you want to get me, here you go. It's all organized.
Okay, but let me understand this. You also pin your own stuff up there so people can go see your party planning ideas or your cravings ideas, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
You can also file your own stuff.
I mean, I have everything, like, sorted by, this year we did my daughter, she had a rain boot party for her second birthday. My son had a popcorn, he wanted a red party. I was like, what do you do with a red party? So we had a red popcorn party. So then, like, all the ideas I had for that are pinned onto his red popcorn party board. And then you can see the outcome of them, too. Like, I post, hey, here's what it ended up looking like.
Yeah.
Here were all the ideas, and then here's how it came out.
And I saw that you also had a super cool manicure idea.
on there.
Yeah, the cupcake one. I love that. I'm going to have to do it someday.
And we're going to tell people you have something in common with the cupcake thing, and we're going to tell people about that. By the way, we are speaking to Carrie Bailey of cravingsonline.net, and she's got a wealth of ideas, and so I hope you stay tuned for all that she's about to tell us. Now, let's just be honest. You want to help moms find peace in the midst of chaos. And you happen to work at a church, so you're somebody who wants to help them seek their own relationship with God. And you help mothers develop. I mean, it's so hard as a mom. So even if, something like 95% of all moms in America say they do believe in God. So we're not divided on that usually. Mm-hmm. But they lose touch with that side of themselves when they become moms because they're so busy all the time. And what you do on Cravings Online is to try to help them get back in touch with that, right? Yeah. What I like to say is I want to make God time easier, not less meaningful, just easier. I wanted to have kids forever. Since I was a little girl, I wanted to have kids, but they didn't come for me till I was in my mid-30s. Okay. And I thought it was going to be really easy. I thought, it's going to be like playing baby dolls, and it didn't work out that way. Kids are actually really difficult. Yeah. And I love them, but it was a lot harder than I ever thought it was going to be. And all the time that I had used selfishly, to go to the movies on my day off or do whatever, it just doesn't exist anymore. And so I had to figure out how to get what I even call quiet time in a different way. And so for me, that came out by creating what I call flashcards. And they're just ways to get a little bit of scripture in me, a thoughtlet for the day, and then an action idea. And that's really the important part for me, is saying, hey, how can I walk through my day being encouraging, being positive, being someone who is a role model for my own children. And so they can be read in under 2 to 3 minutes. Yep, I've seen them. Yeah, I keep mine at my bathroom station, but I know moms keep them, where they're making their PB&Js every day, or I have a friend who keeps hers in where she goes potty, wherever you can kind of get just a minute of peace. Yeah. But they come in a little, the connection to the cupcakes is they come in this little cupcake holder that most people think is pretty cute. Oh, it's very cute. And, it's darling. It's darling, and it's actually even a nice little piece of decor. You sent me one very kindly, and I was tempted to keep it myself, and I ended up giving it away to a mom of 11 children at a ChannelMom coffee because I felt like she needed it every morning and in the midst of her chaos. But they're darling. It's like a little piece of decor that you can have in your kitchen, a little cupcake. It looks like a recipe holder. And then those devotions that you can read through quickly, but you're right, it resets you for the day. And it gets you to that place where you're reminded of your value to God and your value to your children and the meaning of what you're doing on a daily basis, and it gives you strength to push on those difficult days. I love it. Good. Some moms have said their feedback has been, my children think it's a real cupcake and they try and eat it. So that's been funny to hear. And then I also love the fact that for a lot of families, it's become a family activity. Kids think it's so cute that kids will come in and they'll exchange the card for the next card of the day for their mom. Yeah. And so I love that idea that it's, a family thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're right. I mean, I never want to diminish the beauty and the wonder of motherhood because I'm complaining too much with my guests. Yeah, it's really, really tough. But we'll be honest. It is. I mean, last night, my son has a friend sleeping over, his friend Kobe, and they're both teenagers now. And so they're like playing basketball over my head at about 11:30 at night. When they're 2, they're crying, and now they're playing basketball over your head. And so, it wasn't awful. But it's still that sacrificial part of you that just has to give in and say, yep, this is what I do as a mom. I love that kid up there playing basketball over my head. And, and because I love him, I'm going to tolerate this or whatever. I'm going to go tell him to knock it off politely. But you're right. Moms do have a struggle and they do need strength and inspiration to continue on. Now, you talk a little bit about you had some tough lessons when you were in your 20s. Can you talk to moms a little bit about that so they might identify with what you went through? Yeah, I mean, I think we all... maybe not we all, but for me, I was a dreamer. I am a dreamer, and so I kind of had this plan in my head of how life would go, and I would get out of college and get married and have babies, and it would just be, so romantic and beautiful. And that's not the way it ended up going for me. And I thought I was in the relationship that was going to end up where kids were going to come along, and then around 28, that relationship faded and ended, and I kind of had to start over. Yeah. And that was a difficult place to be. It was also a point where I realized I had tried to live up until that point in this world of perfection. Mm-hmm.
trying to be perfect for everyone, and what was going on inside of me and what was people were seeing outside of me weren't matching up. And so I really had to come to a place where I could learn to just be myself. Yeah. And be who I'm supposed to be and not who everyone else expected me to be. And so that was a really, it was a road. It was a journey. I heard you guys talking at the beginning of the show about the hard seasons and how we come through better. And I can definitely say I did. Came through better. And thankfully, a few years later, my mom said, "Hey, Carrie, I'm going to pay you to jump on eHarmony." And so she did. And luckily met someone that way. And it all worked out. And a few years later and a couple babies later, it's all good. It has
worked out. And a little plug for eHarmony there.
That's right, yeah. A little plug for eHarmony.
By the way, we are talking to Carrie Bailey of CravingsOnline.net, and we hope that you'll go check her out. We'll tell people how to get a hold of that cupcake holder and your wonderful devotions. We've got about a minute and a half left, Carrie. Or actually, maybe about 2 minutes. But what is your hope for moms? You've had your own problems. You talk about a failed relationship, and you thought everything was going to work out, and you didn't have your babies till you were in your mid-30s. I was the same way. I didn't have my babies till I was in my mid-30s, but by choice. That's not where you were. So what's your hope for moms? What are you hoping to help them with in this life?
I just, hope them to be, what I found is staying connected with other moms is essential. I thought I could do it all myself, and I realized through this, no, I need other women to do it with. I need my family to support me in this. And so just connecting women with women and using each other instead of being jealous of each other or being worried that we're being judged by each other, that we can use each other to support each other in our walk of motherhood. I think that would be the biggest thing for me and the biggest lesson I've learned through it.
Absolutely. And what can moms get from you in that regard on CravingsOnline.net?
I do every week what I call Mama Helpers, and it's just a daily little thing that's a way to encourage each other, whether it's write a love note to your loved one, text a friend, encourage a friend, a little bit of scripture to read every day, but just little things to walk through your day to keep you, just on the right path and with the right perspective in mind.
Yeah, and moms can go get that beautiful little cupcake holder with the what do you call those little notelets that you have on there with those devotions?
Yeah, little flashcards. Devotional flashcards,
Yeah, and they can go get that there?
Yeah, cravingsonline.net. Don't go to .com. It's a cupcake website. So cravingsonline.net is where you can find me.
And how about on Pinterest, Carrie? Will they know how to find it?
Yeah, Carrie C. Bailey on Cravings Online. Definitely there.
Carrie C. Bailey on Cravings Online. Is that how we do it on Pinterest? Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, you can just do Carrie C. Bailey and it'll pop up.
Beautiful. Well, we loved having you, and you do a great thing, and I so appreciate what you do. So thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you too.
Okay. She was a very, very... You should go to her website. She's got some cute ideas, and her Pinterest stuff is fabulous. She's really good at party planning. So coming up, it's time to de-stress and get a hold of organizing your life. Carrie's organized you. Now we got more to organize you. Your special moments, your memories, your overflowing photo box. Courtney Walsh is an expert at this, and she's super quirky. She has some hilarious stories about bad hair days and her son's antics on balloons. So
bad hair days?
Yeah. You never have.
Those?
I certainly don't. Just kidding. Okay, please join us in a couple minutes.